What is up, everybody? Welcome to Degen Dads Podcast. This is where just a couple of dads just hang out, talk about NFTs, talk about crypto, talk about the market, things we're excited about, things that are possibly going on, and pretty much everything in between. So, without further ado, I am joined by my co-host, we swap channels every single week. We are going to start doing this on Twitter Spaces, and we have a lot more in store for you. But without further ado, let's bring him on up. The man, the myth, the legend. What is up, Kyle?
Hey, GM, what's going on, world? Happy to
GM
be
man,
here.
I think today is the first day that I didn't send out a GM in a long time.
Yeah, yeah, you're like on a streak. Like it's like, man, I wonder how long you'll go. But you
Yeah, I
you
probably.
still have to send them out. It could
Yeah,
be.
I'll still send one out. I'm saying GM right now, so if that counts for anything.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, let me move my cam. There we go. Get a full headshot in there.
So definitely lots of things are going on this week, and we definitely need to keep this under an hour for respect for Kyle. He's got other things going on today, but we have so much to talk about. Kyle threw a ton of stuff in our doc that we keep up with everything going on. But first off, let's just talk about it. Dude, we both got some gains this week. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so Mochaverse, they launched their NFT collection finally. It's something me and you have been talking about for a while now on channel, trying to give that alpha. So people that were able to mint that, hats off to you, because I mean the ETH price went to what was it like? Started off like a huge floor. I think you actually got a piece of
Yeah.
the higher
Yeah, there
floor
was
action
there
there.
was it started there was one sell at 3 Ethereum because the mint was going kind of weird, and then it was just like a race to 2 ETH, and then it kind of sat around 2 ETH for a while, and it's not far off of that right now, but I was one of the first like couple hundred to mint because I was just like there and ready. And yeah, so I was one of the first ones trying to floor my like first Mochaverse. So we got two. We got a wait list raffle. I'll pull it up in a second. I'm actually going to promote this on Twitter in a sec. But we got a wait list and we got a free one. And so I went ahead and sold my allow list one, and then I'm still holding my free one because I want to be a part of like what Mochaverse is building.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, some solid gains there. So obviously, the Mochaverse is tied to Animoca Brands. It's their official NFT, which is massive because obviously, as you know, Chris, and maybe some of the newer viewers may not know, like, oh, what's going on, Jorge? What's in the house from Arcade? Amazon NFTs. I'm here for it. Let's go, baby. Arcade, by the way, shout out to Arcade, big Web3 gaming centric platform. But anyways, yeah, the Mochaverse Animoca Brands' flagship NFT collection. So pretty exciting stuff. I'm holding one as well for the long term, and I also had to let one go, man. Had to do it for the
Yeah, of
gains,
course. I think a
and
lot of people did that. That's kind of why we saw price action all over the place. Because I mean, you
yeah,
got two. Like, why not just like be safe, cash in on one, and
yeah.
just enjoy the ride on the other one, man. I don't hold many blue chip NFTs, and I would put Mochaverse like up there. Like I read the roadmap. I don't know like everything they have going on. I just know like Animoca is a significant Web3 brand and company, so I'm excited to be a part of whatever they're building via their NFT.
Same, yeah. I consider it a blue chip as well, and exciting to see what they'll do with the NFTs. And I believe they'll do some massive things, and like over time, maybe do like decentralized or a DAO or something like that. So, and anyways, it's cool. We'll see what they do though.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, and shout out. You already gave shout out to how'd
It's
you say it?
Jorge.
Jorge,
Jorge.
Amazon NFTs. I'm here for it. And then of course we got Daniel in the house. What's up, Daniel? Welcome to the stream. We also had something else go on yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. I was actually able to mint this. I was super excited about it. I was roasting coffee, and I saw somebody make the call. Um, Vitalik associated himself with an NFT.
Hmm.
He basically like he's on like the board or something. I actually didn't know a ton about it. I just knew that Vitalik was involved, so I minted it for 0.05 ETH, and I sold it for 0.3 ETH within like an hour and a half.
Hmm.
So that was a little 0.25 gain in an hour and a half. And it actually jumped all the way to zero point 0.6.
Hmm.
And yeah, which is crazy. And since then it's kind of went back down. This is Gitcoin Presents. Let's see what it's at right now. It's at zero point 0.4 right now, so it's only 0.1 over what I sold it for. Let me put this comment down so we can see a little bit better. It's pretty cool. Let me like go to the website and actually show you guys. Like I won't go through all of it, but basically it's like a humanitarian thing that like helps fund things that are like the earth and stuff like that. But if you scroll all the way down to, and like I don't really understand this, I didn't have enough time to research, but like each one of these like NFTs represents like something to do with Ethereum. I don't really know. I don't see where it says the team. It's somewhere on here. It says, it shows the team, and it shows that like actually Vitalik like was involved, and I actually do believe he was. That's why people were like bullish on it, but I'm actually not seeing it right now. So, but yeah, it was
Interesting. Yeah, it looks like some kind of sustainability program, quadratic funding. I see that. So interesting.
Oh, I
Okay.
heard it. Well, that's just him. That's just a quote from him. But yeah, he's actually on it somewhere. So that was pretty cool, and also
Yeah.
some good gains. So yeah, man. It's been a really good week of trading overall.
Yeah. So, and also speaking of trading and things like that, we have some pretty big news in the really the macro world of the SEC. Okay, the SEC has been around in the news a lot. You know, NBA
Yeah.
Top Shots. They've been probing Basie. They've been doing all this. They even like have gone after Wall Street and proposed new changes to Wall Street trading itself. And what has happened is basically Gary Gensler, the head of an SEC, saying that like all crypto is essentially securities minus Bitcoin randomly. But the CFTC, however, has gone against the SEC in this conclusion, saying that Ethereum shouldn't be included and Ethereum should be a commodity. Now, the CFTC is the one who actually monitor. It is literally the what was it's so long, the chairman of Commodities and Future Trading Commission is the one who's basically saying that they're taking a firm stance against the SEC on this. So, anyways, there's a lot of like, I guess, people going after the SEC at this point. I've seen just in the past day, we've seen the CFTC, the Republican Party, or like True Social dude was going after the SEC as well, which is, I don't know if anything will happen there. I'd much rather see the CFTC take action, but and then Wall Street itself, a lot of these huge brokers, like massive ones, I think Citadel, the New York Stock Exchange have like band together, and a bunch of other like big names in the Wall Street space band together and saying like these proposals that the SEC is making is like not good. So anyways, a lot of like pushback right now against the SEC.
Good, they need it. The SEC like was designed to protect investors, and I wasn't there. When was it established? Like in the 1960s or something like that? I'm probably far off of that, but like obviously, what's that?
Yeah, I don't know exactly when it was, but it's been. I mean, they've been around for a very long time.
My point is, it was designed to protect investors, but with crypto and NFT specifically, we've kind of not seen that. It's weird because like they'll basically wait until something goes terribly wrong, and then they'll act. I actually almost tweeted about this, but I don't usually like tweeting about really controversial stuff. But basically, like they're like trying to sue or trying to get money from like Duquan, the one with like under the Luna collapse. I remember you did a little bit of trading on that. But they're getting them now. Like 2 years ago there were so many red flags, but now they're getting them. Do you think if the SEC actually gets money from that situation, that money is going to go back to the investors that lost their money?
No, not a chance.
So who are they protecting?
They are.
I mean, it's just so clear, and that I think that's why they're getting pushback. It's not under. It's just clear that it's not the investors' best interest right now. Matter of fact, it's almost like there's like intentional waiting for collapse so that they can get money from monetize the situation at a later date.
Yeah, I mean, there was a big letter too that went out against the SEC among the government organizations. I mean, I think included was like the Treasury of the United States and a bunch of other like big branches of the government, saying that one of the SEC's like oversights that was like basically making the crypto exchanges have some type of reporting, and they need to back their assets and all this other stuff. And they need to have like make it custodial. I don't know. It was something wild. Like I saw it in Coinbase's filings that they were trying to like please the SEC, but these regulators were basically, and these bodies were saying that this is actually goes against what is protecting consumers, because consumers need the ability to take stuff off, and it's requiring exchanges like to do the opposite, which is not good or something. It was something along those lines, but it was very interesting. So there's a lot of pushback right now against the SEC.
I
And
mean,
some,
it's good to hear that the CFTC is pushing back specifically towards Ethereum, because like, well, one, that's like one of my biggest holdings is Ethereum. And like, I know like if anything's going to be safe, it's going to be Bitcoin, because like Bitcoin, I do think is going to be labeled a commodity, if not already. So like, I think like out of all crypto, like obviously that's like the safest. But I use Ethereum a lot. So like I hold more Ethereum because I use it more and I trade on Ethereum more. So like if Ethereum can make it into that bracket of not being registered as a security, I mean, for me personally, that's really good, but that's also good for a lot of other crypto as well. Not just Ethereum, but like in the future. So because like one of the biggest risks to me is like over regulation or like labeling security of like as far as like price action goes. So to like be able, if you know they succeed in this, it will help me sleep at night knowing that Ethereum's not labeled security.
Yeah, and there's even pushback on the Bitcoin level too. So Elio Trades did a video just the other day talking about how you have a Bitcoin derivative in that futures trading on CME. That was a big deal a while back when CME introduced futures trading, which is kind of like trading Bitcoin on paper, and you're not trading the actual crypto itself. But the argument here is, why, if you can have paper, if you're trading Bitcoin on paper and it tracks around 99.99% of the time with the actual price of Bitcoin, why don't you allow a Bitcoin ETF that is literally the actual product of Bitcoin itself, when the futures are okay, but you're not going to okay a Bitcoin ETF? So there's a big case right now to be made. And there's pushback right now against the SEC about that specifically too, about Bitcoin on paper, but you can't trade the actual product. That doesn't make any sense, right? Like if it tracks 99.9% of the time with Bitcoin, just why can't we trade the actual asset itself? So that's the argument being made right now. So I find that very interesting to watch for that.
That's going to be an interesting watch. Dude, I saw something yesterday. It was just a tweet, so I don't have like proof on this, and people love to use like presidents as like clickbait. But that apparently the Biden administration is trying to pass something to where they tax 20% on unrealized gains.
Poof. No, it's like 40% because it's
unrealized.
Yeah, and then they're trying to push it double that, which would crush retail traders. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Trading in general, like traders, you just gut the trading market out. Like, forget swing trading, forget all that. Like, forget the day traders, forget price. It would just devastate the market, and it obviously would incentivize like long-term investments. Maybe that's what they're trying to get at.
No, not really, because it's unrealized. So like you could,
Yeah.
if you're long term, you're still getting taxed on it.
Well, typically the taxes go down if you hold it after a certain amount of time. They may propose like I don't think that they would just
20%
do that.
a year.
Well,
imagine
you start off like 40%, in your first year, and then if you trade it, it's 40%, and then after that they reduce it. There's been a lot of different like bright minds in the trading space saying that like, why don't you just make capital gains tax zero after holding it X amount of time? And that's a good point. Like it incentivizes long-term investing. But that would be a great solution, but I don't know if we'll see that ever.
Yeah, 5-year hold for
Chamath, I think, is the one that proposed that
0% or something like that. That would be cool. But I made a joke about it, like this would be a good thing for the NFT market because we're all down so bad, unrealized gains, that like they would owe us money. So we'll be able to like claim our losses, our unrealized losses, towards that. But anyways, that was just a tweet I saw. I don't know the credibility in it. But we have a lot to get to in a little bit of time. Yesterday, Coinbase launched something to where you can developers can actually build their own wallets that are on chain. Did you hear about that?
So I got the article pulled up. If you wanna, I got the screen ready to go. Thanks, Willow Kid, man. I appreciate that. He said y'all are so dope. Thanks, Daniel Marquez. Much love, fam. What's up, Daniel? Grateful for Chris and Kyle. And much appreciated, fam. Thanks for the feedback. Excuse me.
and Pixel Trader
All
and
right, shout
Double
out to
Quill.
Paul Baron Substack here, by the way.
Ayo.
Slight tiny shill.
Are you writing this?
I actually wrote this article, by the way.
Ayo.
All
Zoom in
right.
so we can see it.
Zoom in. GM. All right, so yeah, Chris, you can talk about this if you want, the wallet as a service.
You wrote the article. Tell us about the article.
Well, this was just going over a little bit about the lead at Coinbase's like lead protocol guy.
Yeah.
He just recently spoke about like the goals of like their aims at Web3, obviously the NFT marketplace. They're quickly iterating upon, you know, what they're building here, and they're not going to give up. They're not going to fold, and they're not going to go away. And as you know, Chris, they launched Base, and then they launched just yesterday. They just literally tweeted wallet as a service. So this is essentially, and you can read this if you want. I know you were talking about it a little bit on NFT now, possibly, but yeah.
Yeah, I was mainly talking about their base that they're launching. I think it's pretty cool because they're launching a layer 2 marketplace, or layer 2, not marketplace, layer 2. Where's it at? Program. I'm trying to find it on my browser.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's going to be built on ETH, and they're calling it Base. And the point of it is to onboard the next couple million users. Here it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Base is so they're using Optimism's code stack. So obviously Optimism is a layer 2 on Ethereum. So yeah, it's a bullish case for Optimism, because what happens is, since they're using Optimism's code stack, Coinbase has to pay fees to Optimism, since they're a part of Optimism's ecosystem now. And so that's, again,
interesting.
Bullish case for Optimism, which is a whole entire decentralized blockchain. Like, it's ran by the community. So it's basically a DAO, but they're not openly calling it a DAO. They're just like kind of saying it's a community ran blockchain. So
I think it's interesting that they're not going to have a token. Like, I don't know, because like a lot of these layer 2s, like all of them that I can think of, have a token, but their layer 2's not, which I think that's going to be bullish for Ethereum, because it's just going to point back to Ethereum.
Well, Optimism does, because I got that. Well, I didn't get an airdrop, but a lot of people got that airdrop. Arbitrum, however, they didn't have a token, but I think they just announced like 2 days ago that I believe they're finally launching their token or something like that.
Oh, dude, I like try to qualify for their airdrop like months ago, so hopefully I still qualify.
Yeah. Not that we would claim any airdrops.
Yeah, man, of course not.
But if we were to have airdrops, that would be sweet. Yeah. So that's kind of the 411 on Coinbase. And then again, this wallet as a service, this is going to allow any brand, any platform to have their own custom wallet. That's like it's like white labeled, basically. So like if Vivi wanted to launch their own like MetaMask style wallet, they could use this wallet as as like a Vivi wallet, Web3 wallet, and use Coinbase's service. Like it just goes on to talk about that right here in this like paragraph and what it does exactly. But it's a user-friendly experience, both for developers and users. Users can restore their wallet without a seed phrase. So it's just password and things like that. So that's going to make it a lot more easier for onboarding mainstream users. So that's pretty much kind of it there. But yeah.
I think it's cool, especially regarding what you're saying, like with Vivi, just being able to launch their own wallet via Coinbase. I think it's going to be a good thing. Yeah, Coinbase definitely making moves, man.
And then, of course, Coinbase made some key acquisitions. One River, which is a digital asset management. So maybe they'll be doing more research, more acquisitions, or maybe more investments into Web3 in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the article, though, right there in the nutshell. But, user base continues to grow here on the analytics charts. Not a lot of trading volume. Obviously, the NFT marketplace was kind of, ghost town. So, but their user base continues to kind of grow there. So,
yeah, dude, I actually was trying to qualify for a Dune airdrop, at least what I thought was a Dune airdrop, earlier today, and then I realized that they announced that they're not going to do an airdrop. That's the analytics you use to look at the market. We just got quite a few people in chat, so I just want to give some shout outs. Blockchain Comics is usually always here. He's talking about the SEC. Dave, good morning, Dave. GM. Willow Kid with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Willow Kid. He said, y'all are so dope. Put a little heart and a little flex. And Blockchain said he's not in the US. And then we have SoCal Homie. Good day, Degen. So good morning, or good morning. GM, everybody, thank you for joining. Yeah, I think that's pretty much concludes Coinbase. Before we go on to Rocket Pool and your LSD trip that you want to talk about, you want to talk a little bit about the Amazon Marketplace, because that is the title. So I want to get into it a little bit before we go too far. I actually did a short on this, and I have a little bit of alpha on the Amazon Marketplace, speculative alpha that I want to share during this live. Do you have any thoughts on Amazon launching their own NFT marketplace?
Yeah, we talked about it quite a bit in the past few weeks. I think that they'll continue to, or I think they'll just roll out what they're good at and it says here that possibly tied to real world assets, or like digitals basically. I think that they'll go like fashion. And it says here physical goods in the article, and I've seen a few more articles talk about that. So I think it would make sense for them, especially like Ready Player Me, where you have a digital avatar and it's kind of like your digital twin. So like not only could you buy like, let's say a cool pair of like a cool jacket for yourself in real life, but it comes with a digital jacket and then that your avatar can wear.
Yeah.
So that's where I think they're going to go.
Yeah, man, that's really cool. That's a really good point. A couple things that I read that a lot of people aren't talking about is they are still using Ava Labs, which is Avalanche. So I'm interested to see AVAX price action once this kind of becomes a thing. I'll just say it out loud right now, just to kind of like document it for myself later. I'm not saying this is going to dramatically affect price. It's just interesting to watch. I do own a little bit of AVAX, not a lot. I'd like to own more. AVAX is currently trading at $15.31. Then they are using Chainlink or Chain as their node developer or node development. So again, this is Amazon, Amazon. So like it could bring a lot of people and a lot of eyes to this if people do care to like watch the technology that they're using. What did I say? Chainlink. There's a couple of chains. Let's see if this is the right chain link. Yeah, number 22 is trading at $6.54. And lastly, they are just like VV originally came out the gate, or Immutable X originally came out the gate. As far as carbon neutral goes, by the way, this is top of my head, Kyle, because I memorized this for my short that I put out on it. They're using something Thor. I think it's called ChainFi Thor or Chainlink Thor. This is for their carbon neutral solutions for their blockchain technology. And I don't remember. Oh, Vet is the name of the currency. It's VeChain Thor is what it's called, but I think it's just Vet, and that's just
VeChain. VeChain's been out for a long time. They're like OGs in the space, and they are kind of the original blockchain that was going to tackle physical goods and services industry by attaching kind of an identifier to like a product. So a good example would be wine. So you have a wine that's pressed in like Napa Valley, and you want to authenticate that wine to make sure it indeed is a high bottled price of wine that's authentic and like a 10-year-old wine or whatever, right? So you could check the blockchain or VeChain in this case and see like where this actually went. So you could see the actual presser. Kyle pressed this wine, then it moved to this warehouse, and from there it was shipped to an Amazon facility, and from there you bought it. And so you could see this actual data to make sure that your your high dollar wine is indeed authentic and who actually pressed it or whatever. So that's what VeChain is really going to tackle, is that supply chain authenticity, and they're like the OGs to actually do this in the space.
You don't just like get barefoot and call it a day.
You don't get barefoot and call it a day. You have to do a little bit more apparently, but
you could just ask me, man. I'm a connoisseur at drinks. You just hand me something, I'll take a sip, I'll tell you how much it costs and where it came from.
Absolutely.
Coffee trained me.
This is good for the space. Again, I think they'll start off with something simple like that, which I think in all reality, that's pretty big, especially the metaverse. Are you kidding me? This could be
Yeah.
a multifaceted approach to what Amazon's doing long term. So this is not to be underestimated. I know that people are saying like, well, it could, even me, I'm like, well, we do have to balance this out because Amazon has failed a lot in the past, like launching stuff. They're not unfamiliar with failure. They are very familiar with failing forward, in pushing the company forward, even if it makes them, even if they fail a time or two and then they hit a big success. So, yeah, this could be multifaceted though. This could be really exciting for the Web3 space as a whole. Sure, it's a 2.5 or whatever, and it's going to be kind of centralized to a point. But again, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe these platforms have to be decentralized, Chris, because we've seen it with NBA Top Shots. They like these custodians. Is it a security? Is it not? And maybe these platforms actually get away from that and try to push for interoperability. So again, Amazon has that name brand market share. Maybe they don't need to make it a walled garden like what we think. So, and anyways,
I do find it interesting that they're not incorporating wallets though. Like they're gonna have their own wallets. Or you're just gonna, I think it said you're just gonna need a username and password. So I wonder if they're gonna incorporate Coinbase's.
That's what.
System.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, that makes sense because they're not gonna. They specifically said you're not gonna need MetaMask or other crypto DeFi wallets. So they're probably gonna incorporate Coinbase's system, and I don't think this is gonna happen. But it really makes me wonder because all you're gonna need to do to buy NFTs is to have an Amazon account. Mm-hmm. I doubt they're gonna do this because they probably want to be safe. But dude, what if like they gave like special privileges to like already Prime members?
Yeah,
like that would make sense, like I hesitate to say that they're going to do an airdrop because like it's Amazon. I think they're going to play it safe and not want to like, go into like security territory, but like I don't see what's stopping them from saying, all right, well, we just want to say thank you to our Prime members. If you're a Prime member and you're interested in this, what you get early access to this, to these features or to this NFT collection. I could totally see that happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in this article too, I don't know who specifically they talked to. I think it's like a Amazon NFT lead. But they are talking about just doing exactly that, is emailing Amazon Prime members. And that's, I think, just in the US alone, it's 167 million Prime users, which is massive. So again, this could be a big deal. We thought Reddit was doing a really good job of NFT adoption. What about Amazon?
Yeah, and Reddit's was DeFi because you could actually take it off onto a Polygon, your Polygon wallet. So hopefully Amazon doesn't stay like completely centralized, and they give you like a little bit of flexibility. Well, it makes me feel like, because we have a comment from Blockchain Comics saying it's 100% going to be a centralized exchange NFT platform. The only thing that kind of makes me like feel like it's not going to be is because they're already working with like 10 or 15 projects that are already established. So like if these projects are like known projects in the space, I don't see how they're going to remain centralized but incorporate these projects.
Yeah, exactly. Another case too is like, I know Coinbase has actually moved towards decentralization. So if you watch what they're doing with their platform, they've been slowly moving towards just decentralizing everything they do. So you look at Base, you look at a lot of what they're doing, even their ecosystem that they're being a part of, like Rocket Pool, which is liquid staking. They're very much a part of the decentralized movement and pushing towards decentralization, because I think they understand like what's happening with the SEC, what's happening around like this over regulation. Brian Armstrong has been very aggressive towards the SEC stance. I mean, we actually need to start championing Coinbase at this point. If you go to Coinbase's Twitter feed, they literally rip apart the traditional finance. They have this new commercial that just came out that just rips the traditional banking infrastructure, rips it apart in their advertisement. So they're literally going after the jugular when it comes to centralized banking and the old model. So we do have to give Coinbase a little credit, and we could see Amazon kind of follow a little suit. I don't think that they'll go total decentralization. I think maybe they give users options too after you KYC your NFT account. I think they'll do something like that. Again, there has to be some kind of bridge between Web 2 and Web 3. And if you have a KYC bridge and a mechanism where users can pull off assets because they want to self custody, then give users the option to do that. But if you need a KYC, then by all means do that. It's just hard to have not a bridge right now. Like, people don't realize, like, Web3 was built without a bridge to Web 2, and people are trying to build that bridge from Web 2 to Web 3 and reverse engineer it as well, like Web 3 to back to Web 2. So that's kind of the frustration we're seeing in the space right now. And nobody's really built that really good bridge. And if they do, they're under scrutiny right now. So you see, like, NBA Top Shots having to deal with a lot of crap from the regulators and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I think it just buffs itself out in the long run.
Yeah, me too. And I was gonna make a comment towards the bridge, but it kind of just lost me when you mentioned NBA Top Shot. I just immediately, my mind goes to VV, and if they're gonna be next on the hit list.
Yeah, like, that's a good point. I mean, VV needs to push to interoperability in a responsible way. They obviously have to build like that responsible mechanism in place, and every platform should do that. You should add it to your disclosures, your terms of service, and have prompts for users. If you're going to self custody, these are the things you need to know. Like, if you self custody, it's you're liable to lose your own assets. And then let the user just self custody and AKA not get sued by a regulator. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. None of this is financial advice. We're not lawyers here. So
yeah,
this is just educational and informational entertainment purposes only.
Oh man.
Boom.
Yeah. No, that was good though. That was good. And like, you're right, there's not like an appropriate bridge from Web 2 to Web 3. And that's why like everybody hates on it. I'll probably get some hate for this, but like, I've always been a fan of generally Recur. And the reason for that is they came out the gate saying,
it's very true.
We have a marketplace. We are centralized. You can keep your assets on here, or you can take all your assets off, anything we've ever dropped, and put it actually on different chains. You could put it on Ethereum, you could put it on Polygon, and I think even Avalanche was bunched in there. Now, like, Recur had some controversy because like some of the things clearly looked like pump and dumps. But regardless, their system, the way they have it organized, to me, is like the perfect bridge from Web 2 to Web 3. Because it's like, look, if you're scared that you're going to lose your assets or whatever, then just KYC and keep it on Recur, keep it on the marketplace, never take it off. But if you want that decentralization, you want it in your wallet, then just take it off. And Hero did a good job at that too.
Yeah, Hero's literally one of the best use cases I've seen so far.
Yes, you can just buy cards, you can scan the back of them, or you just buy them online, and then you migrate them to Mutable X, which you can do through the app very easily. I think you could even do it on mobile. I do most things on desktop though. And then from there, if you wanted to take it off Immutable X, there's really not much reason to take it off Immutable X. But if you want that little hexagon PFP on Twitter that's supported, you can put it on OpenSea, or not on OpenSea. You can put it on Layer 1, and which some people refer to as OpenSea because that's Layer 1. And yeah, you could use it on Layer 1 as well. So Hero does a really good job at that. Shout out to them. I do want to you have the LSD pulled up, which I keep on joking around because that's what you called it. But I do want to talk about, because I know you're crunched for time today. I do want to talk about the Illuvatars and just some of the alpha on that. But if you wanted to give a rundown of Rocket Pool and LSD first, we can, whichever you'd prefer.
Yeah, so this one's just pretty big news in the Ethereum mainnet world. So think Ethereum maxis, think, what's going on there. Rocket Pool. Okay, so this one is, again, I was going to tie this one in back around Coinbase, because Coinbase, again, moving towards decentralization, they are actually part of the Rocket Pool ecosystem, which is liquid staking derivative, so LSD. So basically the problem right now is with Ethereum stakers, they're locking up the Ethereum. You can't unstake it. It's just like there. But with the Shanghai upgrade, it's going to allow people that are staking ETH to literally unstake it. So this could have this could have some increased volatility, Chris, here in this short-term future. So we're talking April is when they slotted this upgrade for. So around in about a month from now, we could see a lot of volatility and movement around the Ethereum price from people literally unstaking their ETH in the tune of like multi-million huge amounts of money.
Yeah.
And where are they going to do with their Ethereum? LSDs like Rocket Pool, which Coinbase has been a huge part of their ecosystem now. And Lido is the number one pool, but Rocket Pool kind of like a distant third. Um, they are basically allowing people to lock up your Ethereum and stake it without having to lock it up for any period of time. So hence the name liquid staking. So you can
So
literally stake it and then unstake it.
if you are already staking a large amount of ETH, you could still execute this and end the stake.
I think so. You can't currently unstake what you've staked previously, but once they're able to unstake, you can stake it into a Rocket Pool or a Lido and earn earn some rewards and
Okay,
whatever. Yeah.
that's cool. It makes me wonder that like if there is like mass unstakes or whatever, like if that would be good for the NFT market, because that's like people have more liquid at hand to like ape into NFTs.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting dynamic to see what happens, and that's a good point, Chris. It could have some, underlying price movement on some NFTs in the macro or the NFT space in general. You can see there the node operators at 2100, and I believe Coinbase is operating like is a node operator for Rocket Pool, and you can see here decentralized Ethereum staking protocol. So again, Coinbase keeps moving towards decentralization. So
Yeah.
who would have thought like years ago, like especially an old crypto head like me, where people were yelling at Coinbase, not if you don't have your keys, it's not your cheese, baby. And now look at, I mean, they have been a huge proponent pushing for clear regulation, pushing for basically unbanking or banking the unbanked, and doing a lot here. So again, very interesting developments in Coinbase world for sure.
Just a quick side note, on the NFT market, just a really cool thing that I forgot to mention earlier is I don't know if this is the best metric. Sometimes Dune is a little bit behind, but I've been seeing floating around that we actually are going up in active wallets on Ethereum right now, which is pretty cool to see. Now, like, could that be people making several different wallets to qualify for airdrops, like specifically the Blur airdrop? Yes, absolutely. But it's still kind of cool to see. This is monthly active traders. I know that this looks down. I think the reason this looks down is because this is just behind. It's not March isn't over yet, so like it's kind of hard to gauge off of this metric. But yeah, that's just something floating around that's kind of cool to point to as we are and talk about NFTs a lot on here. Kind of a good sign for NFTs.
Yeah, I'll pull up something kind of not good for NFT, speaking of which.
Oh no.
So let me pull this up real quick on the screen.
I have a better metric too that I'll show you in a second. This is the volume of the entire market. So right now in the last 7 days, we have 500 million volume, USD volume on all marketplaces right now. So half a bill. That's actually down a little bit. You can actually choose to include or not include wash trades. So if I were to include wash trades, that would make it go up, a couple hundred million. But without wash trading, we have about a half a billion going on right now in volume.
Yeah, it's exciting now, but we have some unexciting news coming up here. If you want to share my screen, we have something kind of
Yeah,
kind of a big deal here. So
yeah,
not to get too bullish on NFTs, but we definitely want to counter it a little bit here too with this news. We have crypto bank Silvergate Capital is literally, the bank is shutting down because the stock has plummeted. So they have gone belly up, it looks like.
yeah.
Wow, Chris, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, I heard about this yesterday. I had some friends liquidating a little bit, and yeah, I definitely think this is going to hurt the market. How much did they have in it? Does that article say? I actually haven't, other than just hearing
Well,
the other than just hearing the news. I don't know
yeah.
exactly how much they owned.
Well, this is where a lot of crypto platforms use Silvergate's banking services. So you're talking about like major exchanges using Silvergate. You're also talking about major platforms like Circle who provide services and fiat cash out with platforms. I mean, we've seen this affect Recur. We've seen it affect even Dapper now. They just a couple days ago, I think it was either NBA Top Shots or or Dapper saying that they're going to have to shut down their fiat cash out because of Silverbank. or Silvergate here, because the reason why is the exposure to Circle, or Circle's exposure rather, of using their financial services like that fiat off ramp, basically. So again, this affects not only crypto, but it affects NFTs in general, because how many NFT platforms are actually using this bank? And so this will cut down um, crypto platform and NFT platforms using banks, and it kind of cuts that link off from the fiat world. So this is definitely bearish news for sure.
No, I completely agree. Coinbase made a statement that they apparently don't have client funds on here, so that's obviously good. I do want to say before we get, which this is bad, bearish, but like I haven't read up on it enough, but I also heard that they're doing this in a very like uh intricate manner to where it's not just going to be like a rug, for lack of better words. Like it's going to be like a soft off ramp of closing down operations. So
Yeah.
like at least it's not like this like catastrophic FTX event where like you just get rugged and a lot of people lose money. I think it's going to be like they're slowly exiting, which still sucks, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to be as much
So
of a rug pull.
here's where I'm going to draw this parallel. And I know people aren't going to want to hear this because it's a little bit bearish, but hear me out. So this right here, this bank shutting down, again, limits crypto platforms, limits NFT platforms. And now I think there's only like one other major bank providing these services to crypto and NFT platforms. And so that's going to like cut the fiat like on and off ramps out and kind of gut that. So what's going to happen, if you remember Robinhood and what happened to the GME stock, where people weren't able to sell, or they weren't able to what was it? They weren't able to buy GME. They could
We
only
weren't able to.
sell it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
weren't able to buy it.
So what we could see is you can you can only what is it? You can only sell it, but you can't buy it. So what's going to happen with prices? Like, will they
Yeah.
go down because now that there's been kind of an attack on these banks offering services to crypto? So that could be something that plays out here. Elio Trades actually had a really good video about this, but where he was talking about that, like limiting what you can't really buy crypto, but you can only sell it. Like that's a problem. And that could affect price. So again, like disabling that kind of fiat on ramp, but only allowing the off ramp, that could be kind of bearish. Again, we'll see how it plays out. Hopefully nothing like too bad comes of it, but it's more of that kind of like macro effect that we could see in ripple effect.
Yeah, I remember that happening. I was part of that GME movement, and it was tragic, man. They stopped us from being able to buy the stock, and
And
you could only sell,
Dogecoin too.
and it really hurt because people start selling that need to sell, and then that triggers sell orders, and then those sell orders like create like this massive domino effect of like just a huge. I mean, that's the price went from like $400 per share to like I don't know, 150 or something like that in the matter of a day or 2 days. I don't remember the time, which for stocks, especially something like GameStop, is like insane. But that's because
Mhm.
they cut off buying. So like all you could do was sell. People got scared, and then people that needed to sell sold, and then it just triggered all these sell orders. So like at that point, people don't even have to manually sell. It's just like it's getting
Yeah.
automated all the way down for stop loss. All those, maybe that's what the FTX girl meant by stop losses are a bad thing. The Caroline, what was it, whatever her name was,
Yeah, Caroline, whatever.
the
Yeah.
financial advisor is saying not to use stop losses, but or whatever it was. But yeah, man, that was a tragic event.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out again in the macro. Maybe nothing happens. Maybe some of these platforms are able to you keep offering services without the need for it, but we'll see. Um,
Dude, give us some of that. Again, respect out of your time. I know you got to kind of cut it hard today, but before you leave, can you talk about the Louvatars a little bit? I know you're
yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
involved with Illuvium, and I'm not. I own two ILV. That's my only exposure to the ecosystem right now. So yeah, share us a little alpha before we close out, and I might try to find something for you guys too before we finish.
Yeah, so I got it pulled up here on screen, but Illuvatars, they sold their alpha like discs, and so their alpha discs or their mega, which basically it guarantees you one rare Illuvatar. They sold out. They had 20. 1,000 of those launch, and they all sold out. So
Wow.
little over a day. Now they still have standard discs that have a random Iluvatar, so you could get a rare one. You're not guaranteed a rare one. But what happened was like some people were buying like, tons of discs, especially the megas, because it has a rare Iluvatar.
Yeah.
Well, just like what happens with the VV drop, in a positive way, especially the beginning of HRO or Hero, is a lot of people bought a ton of discs, opening them up, and then they pulled like a bunch of rare ones, and then they went into the secondary and sold them for like, I've seen some go for like 1 to 2 ETH. And so people were able to make their money back almost immediately or in the gains and
Yeah.
still have, a pretty good collection of Iluvatars. So Iluvatars are, it's basically like almost exactly like Hero in a sense that you can go and open these packs, collect digital albums and sets and things like that. And users that bought the first 5K discs were able to get emotes, special emotes in game. So
Oh,
only
that's
five,
really cool. I
yeah,
didn't know
only
that.
5K people will have this in game. So if you beat another player, it'll take over their entire screen and do this like crazy cool like water gun or blast them or
What?
something.
Dude, that's so
Yeah, so
cool.
it's going to be a hard flex in Illuvium.
Uh,
Um,
Real quick, SoCal gave us some alpha. He said hero volume yesterday was 4.9 thousand on mutable market. ILV did 43,000. That ILV disc did 80,000 on secondary, which sold out the 20,000 alpha packs that you mentioned at 200 each. The new Iluvatar Alpha Wave 1 characters did over 200,000.
Oh, and it's like if you actually add up the total, so like I think yesterday it was like $194 for a mega pack, and if you count all those sold out, that's almost $4 million, and that's not counting the standard discs. So this was a very successful drop for Illuvium. Again, this is a native Web3 brand that's created from scratch from the brains of the Warwicks, Roger, their lead designer or whatever his name, or concept artist. He's the lead concept artist that kind of had a huge part in masterminding this. And I've had a little bit of help pushing them to put in like, leaderboards. So no big deal. But the UI is slick, man. You got to pull this up on screen because this is too good not to share. So this was kind of the buy screen. You could like select a disk and you connect to Immutable X. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick.
Show us that seed phrase.
Oh, it doesn't even show it, so that's nice.
I know
and
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't.
I like that. So you can select a disc, you can go in and buy it, and this is on Immutable X, so there's no gas fee. And I could come in here and like deposit funds with a credit card or deposit it with a MetaMask, and then I just click purchase, and then I can go into like my account, I can load up the disc, and it'll have an unboxing ceremony, which is super cool. And then the actual super clean part is the let's see here. Yeah, their marketplace, super clean. Like you can go in and sort by like all these different finishes. So if you want a hollow graphic alluvial, you can come in here and look at this. The floor on just a hollow is $48.
Yeah,
so if you pulled,
that's good, man.
Yeah, if you pulled a bunch of hollows yesterday, and this is like not even a rare one, this is like common, and you can go in there and sort, and then you can go to your album and the leaderboard, your progress, and you can even bond the accessories to your Iluvatar. So if you have like a rare, like Kanye looking glasses, you can bond that with your Iluvatar and make it more rare. And you can see,
that's really cool.
These different sets you can complete. You can go, if you don't have like a certain thing, you can click, like I can click this Iluvatar to add to this like set, and it'll give me points for doing that.
What? So it's gamified.
Dude,
that's MCP, huh?
This is MCP on steroids. I mean,
that's sick, dude.
Dude, this is crazy. Look at this. Like you can go by classes, sets, or backgrounds, Iluvatars themselves, and things like that. What I like is how easy it is. So I can go to a common axon and click this buy now button, and it'll take me directly into the marketplace. And I can scan through here to see if I like a more rare one with more power points. So you can see right here, Iluvatar power. The more power points, the more rare it is. So again, this puts you up on the leaderboards, depending on like how much you want to rank up. So
dang, dude, I wish I'd have bought one of those bigger packs. Where was the alpha, Kyle? I needed you.
Man, I was tweeting all about it. This is like, yeah. So let's go. I'll show one last alpha here.
Sure.
And we'll go to like a tier 5 or a, let's see if I can find the tier. Yeah, here we go. Tier 5. Like this is where it's at. So this is where it gets really rare. Like the cheapest squiz is a 157. Let's see if we can find Ramfire.
Is that like the Charizard?
This is the Charizard of Illuvium. So yesterday I was going for like $1,900. Let's see if I can find it here.
Let's see if people made a good decision to buy it.
Class background. Yeah, so let's see if we can find Mr. Ramfire here. Let me see if you can.
I swear, I like how there's actually like very normal names in there, like Beetle. I think I saw Penguin.
Where the heck is it? Let's see if I can.
Turtle.
Turtle Doka. Oh, that pterodactyl. That's what it's going to be. The pterodactyl.
It does. It looks like a dude. What are the eyes big? It kind of looks goofy.
Yeah.
I like that the eyes not being big.
Yeah. So this is like their version of like they do have goofy ones. So you can see here.
Yeah, it looks goofy. Oh, it literally says Goofy. I didn't see that it says Goofy.
Yeah, so literally Goofy with the eyes, and then that one, the Goofy one's 4 ETH, 4.24. So the cheapest one is $1,900, and then literally look at the floor, it goes up to 2 ETH. So from 2,000, it goes to 3,200, and it keeps going up. Like, look at that. You
That's can. So it's got like shades. Yeah, it's got like shades on it.
This isn't literally insane. Like their Charizard is going for.
Look, it's got pipe and shades, dude.
Yeah. So these, again, these are naked, what I call naked Illuvatars. They don't have any accessories and going for over 1 ETH. And then you have the ones that are even more rare with the higher Illuvatar power going for much more with more rare accessories like the Kanye glasses. And then again, this one, hecka rare with the chain and all that going for much more. 48K.
Yeah.
Listen, insane.
I wonder what the biggest sale is so far. Can you filter by sales?
Yeah, you can see like the most recent sale. So I can come here, see the most recent sale of.
Oh, dude. Yeah, there's actually that. Did that one sell for 8 ETH?
Yeah, it has laser eyes. Laser eyes.
Oh, laser eyes. I was like, it looks very normal.
Yeah. So again, insane. Yeah, look at this. Look at all these sales right here. 2 ETH.
Dang, that 80 sale's insane, man. He wanted those eyes. Good gosh.
Yeah, bullish. So, and this is the beginning. This isn't even long term. Like long term, these could go for way more. Like we're talking, and this is we're in crypto winter. Like what the actual heck?
Yes, yeah, Silvergate shutting down, and this guy's like, I'm gonna spend 8 ETH on this dinosaur.
Yeah, like no big deal. Like we're just gonna buy 2 ETH on this goofy Ramfire right here.
Yeah.
Like what is going on?
I love it.
So anyways, like they did such a good job on this marketplace. Like it is literally incredible. Like you can sort by the tier, this accessories. You can literally buy these like one off.
SoCal said I can buy Mega Disc for $30 under mint.
Yeah, so you can, there's a disc tab right here. You can click this and people are selling their unopened discs for like, you can buy the basic ones for like $30, which I think the floor went back up. I think, well, maybe it's about the same, but you can go here and type in mega disc or click that on the filter. And for $170, you can buy a little bit cheaper still here on the secondary from yesterday.
That's tempting, Kyle. That is tempting.
I bought one.
So did you open it yet?
I didn't open it. Open it. I kind of want to buy a couple because I could see these in the future going for like a minimum of 500. Like we're talking alpha. They even have the badge alpha disc right here. And so all your Illuvatars will show up in your album and in your set with literally
so what was mint?
Let's see here. View details. It'll literally show up as a alpha Illuvatar to show it's like that first edition badge. So think Pokemon first edition. These are, I'm telling you, these could go if people start collecting all these albums and trying to unlock these perks in game or whatever Illuvium decides to do with their crazy imaginative heads. These like could be, especially the more rare ones, could be worth a lot. Not financial advice.
Sweet, man. I'm looking forward to looking in more of this. Heck yeah.
So that's all I got for that, man. That
Sweet. No, that was good, man. That was good. It got me hyped up. I think I might go buy a mega disc later today. I had some gains this week, so might as well put them towards something. Heck yeah, dude. That was great.
I mean,
Thank
you
you all
could
for
keep it sealed. Like I got SoCal Omi Homies pack right here, just nice and sealed.
I have mine. I have mine close to me.
I kind of want to get this graded, man. I don't know if you can get these boxes. Look at this. It's still sealed right there. The holographic image just looks so good.
It does. So. I have mine for a keepsake too, but I did open it. Thank you guys for joining in today. I think I'm going to do a Twitter giveaway later today. So if you're not following me on Twitter, go follow me on there. We will be on Kyle's channel next week, and hopefully starting some Twitter spaces to be a little more consistent. And we did start a Degen Dad's podcast Twitter. So we'll be talking more about that in the future, but probably doing some exclusive giveaways through that, maybe some PO apps in the future, which is a proof of attendance of these. Definitely going to reward all of our early people that choose to listen to us now when we're like just kind of getting off our feet and getting started. But yeah, obviously you're probably subscribed to Kyle, but if you're not, we will be on his channel next week. And Kyle, I will actually let you say something today. Do you have any final words? No?
Peace.
That's it. All right. Cool. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Peace out.